Hello everyone, I am Kajal Jha, lecturer in Praveen Patil College of Diploma Engineering. Today's topic is subject is electronic engineering materials. Subject code is 22217 of the EJ department, EJ2Y. So in the last video, we will see what are the conductivity. That is, some definitions are there. That is resistivity, conductivity, conductance, resistance, and factors affecting to the resistivity of an electrical materials. In this video, we will discuss the next topic, that is motion of an electron in an electrical field. Okay, so let's start. That is motion of an electrons in an electric field. So the electron inside a metallical conductors are moving about with the random velocity, which depends upon the temperature. But this random velocity gets transformed into a systematic velocity when an electric field is applied to the conductor. This velocity can be calculated. So hence there are two components of the motion of the electrons, as stated below. That is, first is the random motion. Okay, there are two types of motion of the components, that is random motion and the directed motion. So what is mean by the random motion? Random motion is nothing but it is the random motion is the motion of the electrons depends on the temperature, and it is of the order of 10 to the power 6 meter per second. After that, directed motion is what? As we apply an external electric field to any conductor, the electrons start moving in a particular direction depending on the polarity of that electric field. So this is called as what? Directed motion of that electrons. Okay, directed motion of that electrons. That means if the temperature of the electrons may or may not be same as that of the conductor, so it means what? That is, random motion is what? Electrons depends on the temperature. Okay, electrons depends on the temperature. And directed motion is what? When we applied the electric field to any conductor, then the electrons start moving from a particular direction. Okay, when electron start moving in a particular direction, and movement of electrons is nothing but the current. So the particular direction, when the electrons start moving in a particular direction, which is dependent on the polarity of the electric field. Okay, it is only depend movement of the electrons is depend on the polarity of the electric field. After that, electron mobility. In electron mobility, some drift velocity of the charged particles. So consider a material that consists of a large number of free electrons. When we when we apply an external electric field of e volts, okay, of e volts per meter to such a material, the free electrons inside that material get accelerated in a particular direction. These accelerated electrons may collide with the immobile ions while traveling and lose their energy. Okay, so a steady state will be reached when the electrons will travel at a steady state, at a steady velocity. Okay, so this steady state velocity attained by the electrons under the influence of externally applied electric field, that is denoted by capital E, is called as drift velocity of that electrons, or drift speed, or drift speed is measured in meters per second, and it is denoted by V. So drift velocity of a charged particle is what? When the any material consists of large number of electrons. When we applied the electric field, then what will happen, the electrons, the free electrons which is present inside that conductor, okay, which is present inside that material or conductor material, that get accelerated. Okay, because of the acceleration they may collide on other electrons, on other electrons, on a immobile's ion. When they collide, then they lose the energy. Okay, then they lose their energy, and because of that they travel at a steady velocity. Because of that they will travel at a steady state velocity, and that steady state velocity attained by that electron under the influence of electric field is called as drift velocity. Okay, when we applied the electric field, the electrons attain the steady state velocity. Okay, electrons attains the steady state velocity, that velocity is called as drift velocity or the drift speed, okay, of that electron, and it is measured in terms of meter per second, and it is denoted by v. Okay, that is small v. After that, mobility. What is mean by mobility? A drift velocity v, which we have defined just now in a which is proportional to the externally applied electric field E. So we can write that V is directly proportional to E. This is the equation 1. Using the mu as a constant of proportionality, we can write V add the constant to remove the proportionality sign. Okay, so V is equal to what? Mu constant into E. This is the second equation. This constant of proportionality mu is defined as the mobility of charged particles. So if we rearrange the equation 1 and 2, we can write that V is equal to what? Mu is equal to what? V upon E. Okay, mu is equal to what? V upon E, because we have to calculate what? Proportionality. We want proportionality. So normally we take mu this side, and then V goes to denominator of the other hand side equation. So from equation 3, we can define the mobility of an electrons as the magnitude of the average velocity v per unit electric field. Okay, because v divided by e, that means what? The average velocity per unit electric field, that is e. Units of mobility is what? Meter square. Okay, meter square divided by v second. Thus mobility mu is expressed in a square meter per volt second. Okay, this is nothing but square meter per volt second. This is nothing but the definition of the mobility of the electrons. So the mobility of the electrons is what? It is the magnitude of average velocity per unit field, per unit electric field. Okay, so some metals having the mobility, that is if we aluminium, that is mobility is 10 centimeter square, okay, per v second. After that, zinc, that is 5.8 centimeter square per v seconds. Okay, so the electric field intensity E inside the, that is the units of inside the metals is generally very small, less than 0.001 volt per meter. Hence the actual electron velocities are much smaller than the values. Okay, that is I told, that is aluminium and zinc. So conductivity of metals remains constant independent of frequency throughout the whole range of radio frequency. So the energy for a higher frequencies than these, the conductors will start behave differently. Okay, so it is observed that after a particular limit, the current will not increase indefinitely. Okay, with the increase in the applied electric force, So they beyond a particular value of E and the Ohm's law does not hold good. So when the electric field is absent, the conductor current is equal to 0. And when an electric field is applied to the conductor, the electric current starts flowing due to the movement of electrons under the influence of external field. So the movement of electrons among the atoms of the solids is very complex, and these happens due to the crystal irregularities as a result of impurities and thermal agitation. So these will distort the regular flow of the electrons and produces a local electric field which forces the electrons out of their initial path. Due to all these factors, the electrons tend to scatter in all direction, and the directing force created by the electric field is felt by the electrons when it is traveling in the free path between the successive collisions. This free path distance is very small, typically of order of 10 to the power minus 6 centimeter. So therefore an electric field of therefore an electric field can can affect a very small additional speed, affect a very small change in the speed of the thermal agitation of the electrons, but the electric current is produced by only these small additional speed of electrons in a one and the same direction. Okay, so this is nothing but what about the mobility, how the electrons is travel, and how we can calculate the mobility, and how we define, okay, and how we express the mobility. Okay, this is nothing but about the mobility. After that we go for energy levels of the molecules. Energy levels of the molecules, so we can change the energy of an atom by only one means. It happens only when one electron passes from one quantum state to the another. Okay, then however the energy of the molecule can change in either one or all of the following three ways. Okay, there are three ways for the energy of the molecule can change. So, first is the energy changes of a molecule may take place in the similar way, so that to that of an electron, to that of an atom. Second, the atom of an molecule vibrate with respect to each other. These vibrational energy may also have discrete values. And finally, the molecules rotate as a whole. Hence, the associated rotational energy may result in the change in state of molecules. Okay, so therefore, this is the energy level diagram. Therefore, the energy states of the molecules can be described by indicating the state of its electronic cloud. That is nothing but the electronic level. Electron level. The state of its vibrational motion, that is nothing but the vibration level. Okay. Rotational level means what? Electron level means what? It indicating the state of electronic cloud, or the state of its vibrational motion is called as vibrational level. Okay, and the state of rotational motion is called as rotational level. Okay, this is nothing but the three levels. That is, first is the electronic level, which is nothing but state of its electronic cloud. After that, vibrational level means what? It state the state of its vibrational motion. Okay, this is the vibrational level. After that, rotational level is what? It is the state of its rotational motion. So the energy level diagram of a molecule, this energy level diagram of a molecule says that, okay, these energy level diagram of the molecules state that first is these electronic level, after that this is the vibrational level, and this is the rotational level. Okay, this is nothing but the excited state. It is from low energy to high energy. Okay, so if we see here, that is if we write here that V is equal to if we write here, uh, that is, if here V is equal to 0, okay, if here V is equal to 0, after that here V is equal to, if we see here V is equal to 1, then here V is equal to 2, okay. So this is what number of vibrational levels denoted by V0. V is equal to 0, after that V is equal to 1, after that V is equal to 2. This is nothing but the vibrational levels, okay. This is nothing but the vibrational level. This is the electronic level. This is the vibrational level. Here this is the vibrational level. Here also this is the vibrational level, and this is electronic level. And these small lines are nothing but the rotational levels of that electrons, okay. So so differences between the rotational levels is much smaller than those between the vibrational levels, that is V levels. If you see the rotational levels, and it is much smaller than that of vibrational level, okay. It is small than vibrational level, okay. If you see the diagram, you clearly means your ideas get clear, that is a rotational level is a much smaller than that of vibrational level. So also the difference between the vibrational levels are much smaller than those between the electronic level. If you see here, okay, if you see here, electronic level, okay, this is the electronic level. So this level, that is nothing but the rotational level, is much smaller than that of electronic levels, okay. After that, suppose the electronic level in a molecules are at 100, 200, 300 units, then let the vibrational levels be present what, 10, 20 and 30, because it is much more, that is electronic level is much higher than that of both units. So the rotational revolutional level or the rotational level is present at what, 1 to 3, okay. This is 1 to 3 units. You can get the clear idea what I am saying, that is electronic level, if the molecule is 100, 200 or 300 units, then what is the vibrational levels is also, we write that V is equal to 1, V is equal to 2, V is equal to 3, like that. And if the rotational level we can say, then rotational level is what, that is nothing but the rotational level is what, 1 2 3, but the vibrational level is what, 10 20 30, if the electronic level is 100 200 300, like that, okay. After that, emission of the electron from the metals. So if an electron acquires excess energy by some means, then it will escape the surface of the metal and travel to the nearby electrode, which is connected to the positive potential with respect to the electron emitting metal surface. This type of emission of electron is known as the thermionic emission, okay. That is, it is a continuous flow of electrons observed in a vacuum tubes, okay. Thermionic emission means what, it is the continuous flow of electrons which is observed in a vacuum tubes. It is nothing but the thermionic emission. So modes of emissions. So four different ways in which the electron acquire different energy are as follows. First is thermionic emission. After that, second is photoelectric emission. Third is field emission, and fourth is secondary emission. So first, thermionic emission. What is mean by thermionic emission? The electrons acquire excess energy as the metal surface is heated up. This is nothing but the thermionic emission. Means what? Electrons acquires the excess energy as the metal surface is heated up. Means when we metal surface get heated, then electrons acquire some excess energy. It is nothing but the thermionic emission. After that, photoelectric emission. Photoelectric emission is what? Electrons acquires the excess energy from the light. Photo means what? Light. So this emission is depends on the light. So electrons acquire excess energy from the light sufficiently a small wavelength incident on the metal surface. Means what? When the light is incident on metal surface, then electrons get the excess energy from the light only. Okay, this is nothing but the what? Photoelectric emission. After that, field emission. Field emission is what? The electrons acquires the excess energy due to the application of intense electric field to the metal. Okay, when the electric field is in, means the metal is influenced with electric field, okay, then or the application of the intense electric field, because of that the electrons acquires the excess energy. After that, secondary emission. The electrons acquires excess energy from the electrons bombarded on the metal surface. If the electrons bombardment is done with the on the metal surface, then the energy is acquired by the electrons is called as a secondary emission. Okay, so in our next video we will go for detailed information about the these emissions. Okay, thank you.